So one thing about the Apefather, I'm a huge Mike Tyson fan. I love Mike Tyson. I still think that aside from Muhammad Ali, okay, Cassius Clay, whatever, that was his original name. I believe Mike Tyson was the greatest world heavyweight champion that ever existed on earth. The only thing I don't understand about Mike is that, look, at one time, I don't know if you know this, Mike Tyson's peak, he was worth about $400 million at the prime of his career. Unbelievable, But then he had all the troubles, that crazy, what was it, Robin Gibbons, what was the name? Robin Gibbons. Then he had look, if I ever met Mike Tyson, I would never mention nothing about that whole rape thing. You know what I mean? Because first of all, besides the fact that I'll knock you out. Like I saw there was one time he was doing an interview and there was some guy, he was talking about how I think he went to Canada. And I think he met like, I don't know, it was like a mayor or something of a town. So this interviewer says to Mike Tyson, he goes, "I'm surprised that the mayor would meet you, being that you were, charged for rape." Oh my God, you probably know the interviewer I'm talking about. You saw Mike was happy when he first got there. And he was being very respectful and a gentleman. He's like, you're a real piece of shit. You act all nice and everything. This is Mike Tyson talking to the interviewer. He goes, "You're a real piece of shit." And he goes, "Well, Mike, what's the next steps? Like, what are you going to do now?" "Well, I'm thinking about just like knocking your damn teeth." He goes, "Because you're a real piece of shit, really." They had to end the interview. And then at the end of the interview, Mike goes, "F you," like really loud. And the guy was like, that guy was lucky to get killed. But that's one thing, if you ever meet Mike Tyson, just don't bring that up. Don't talk about how he bit off Holyfield's ear. He doesn't want to hear this stuff. So, because the reason I say this is because recently, Mike was on the plane. You heard about it, right? Where he was punching that passenger that was behind him. I guess he was annoying him. And long story short, now that might be a lawsuit. I don't know what's going to happen. But he broke the guy's face apart. At first, they took a picture together. So I guess maybe when they first met, the guy was being a gentleman. But then the guy was drunk, they claimed. And he was annoying Mike. And he was harassing Mike. And Mike has a short fuse. But you know what I say to myself? Because I love Mike Tyson. I really do. I think I would get along with Mike Tyson. I really do. Okay? I would say to him, Mike, why don't you just fight again? Like, look at George Foreman, man. Remember when George Foreman got in the ring with, what was it, Tommy Morrison? And listen, he was up in age. Okay? I know Tyson's in his 50s, right? Listen, he still got marquee value. Even if he was not fighting like real contenders, just the fact it was Mike Tyson, man, I would pay any amount of money. I would pay friggin' forget it, anything. Whatever the price is, I would pay to watch him. And I know I'm not alone. I know most of America feels the same way. And I just don't understand. Like, he did it with that Irish boxer. I can't think of the guy's name, but I think it was like his last fight where this guy knocked him out. And Mike was just like, "Look, I did it to get paid." Maybe it's because it's a pride thing. I know he did this fight during the coronavirus. Did you see that? There was like a fight. I forget who it was, who he fought, but it was during the coronavirus. It was like so weird because they did it in a setting where no one was there. Like, in other words, like, how like Mike's normally in, like, there's like, 50,000 people watching him screaming, right? Well, this was just done where nobody was there. It was like this virtual event. It was pretty weird, I have to admit. But I just don't understand, like, just fight, man. I mean, now things are changing in the world, right? People are going to Billy Joel concerts, 20, 30,000 people at Madison Square Garden, People are going to the stadiums again. You know what I mean? So it's like, I think like Mike Tyson could draw a big crowd, make himself a lot of money. And if he maybe did 2 or 3 fights, he might be back up to 100 million again. I wouldn't be surprised if Mike Tyson makes 20 million or more fight if he got back in there. And he's in shape. He's still got ability. He's still strong like a friggin' tank. So Mike Tyson, if you hear this video, rather than knocking out people on planes, knock them out in the ring. Make that dollar, baby. Make the Benjamins.